Hey everyone, I'm Jack Fossett and this is the CMG Ashlee. So just like it says, this is a made in the USA Les Paul, essentially, for under $1,000. Now, this is not the first time I've actually reviewed one of these. In fact, I borrowed one years ago that was a dual humbucker model, and I remember liking that one, and I recently had an opportunity to acquire this one via trade, which I did, and I really like it. It's a really cool guitar. Now, this is from a small company in the South, and they make this model. They also make a Telecaster style guitar, and I believe they've started to make several other guitars. And they're associated with a few other companies, including Devil Cat amplifiers and Frog Dog pickups, and these are Frog Dog P90s that are in this guitar currently. This is a lot of guitar for the money. I think this more than stands up to something like the Gibson Les Paul Tribute. And the reason I say Tribute is because that's kind of where it is regarding the accoutrements. Its style is a little bit stripped down. It does have a gloss top, but for the rest of the guitar, it's a little bit stripped down from what you would get from like a Les Paul Standard or Studio. Now, they do also make higher end models that have like inlays. They offer this in a semi-hollow format, which has these really cool kind of big ribbon-like F-holes. They're not F-holes, they're ribbon-shaped, but you know what I'm saying. And so they offer a number of options, but, you know, for just this guitar at this price point, it's really phenomenal. Now, a couple of things that are different. First of all, as you've seen in the video already, it has a belly cut, which is really nice. This one has something, now I believe this is called masked binding. This is actually something that I love. I almost like it, I think, you know, depending on the model, but more than your standard binding, where if you look at the side of the guitar, it's not actually bound with a strip of binding, it's leaving a section of the wood unstained or unfinished, and so you get that natural tone of the wood, which creates the binding effect to kind of separate the the top from the body, visually speaking. And I think it's just phenomenal. It's a nice way to get that definition between the top and the back, but without having some sort of an excess thing on there. The neck on this is phenomenal. It's got Grover tuners. It's really, nothing about it feels cheap. I think, you know, when you look at guitars that come from smaller companies, particularly when they're priced lower, you have certain expectations. You know, I usually expect the hardware is going to be bad. You know, maybe it'll be a little rough around the edges. This is not any of those things. The hardware is great. The pickups and the resonance are just wonderful. The tone of this guitar is absolutely fabulous. Now, this is not a sponsored review. I do want to mention this is my personal opinion. Like I said, I acquired this through a trade, and it does bring up the one point that's kind of the downside of it. Because they're not expensive and because it is a small company, the resale value of this type of thing is tough. And that's true of a lot of small brand gear anyway, but you know, this is a great guitar and it was listed used for sale for a long time, and I kind of finally decided to make a move on it. And that's kind of the downside, particularly nowadays it's hard to sell things. But you know, if you do invest in a guitar like this, really the idea is you should invest in it as something to keep. You know, don't look at it as a stepping stone guitar, because you know, a lot of us are into buying, selling, trading and things, and this is one of those that you get to hang on to. Now, this also does have one other feature that I want to mention, which they call the E-bend cut, which if you notice, the horn right here is actually kind of further down than it would be on your standard Les Paul style guitar, and that's to give you, you know, great access to the upper frets and things. And just a phenomenal guitar. It does have this big kind of honking switch, so there's no way you're going to miss the switch. It has a very simple setup. You've got a volume and a tone. Now, they also make this, again, as I mentioned, in a dual humbucking format, and there are a number of other models like this. But let us know what you think. Is this a company that you have tried out? Have you ever played one of the CMG guitars? Like I said, I borrowed not only an Ashlee, but I had actually also borrowed one of their Telecasters before, which was also a great quality guitar. Now, to show this off, I'm plugging into my Fender Princeton Reverb, which is loaded with a Jupiter Alnico speaker, and for the overdriven tones, you are hearing a Boss OD3, and you'll hear this has a lot of snarl and a lot of bite to it. It has a really nice top-end articulation, kind of a great twang and growl to it, and just cleans up particularly beautifully as well. So next what I'm going to do is play the neck, middle, and bridge, both clean and overdriven, so that you can get a whole tonal profile of this guitar. Let us know what you think. I'm Jack Fossett. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.